Did Paul Simon and Bob Dylan steal from the exact same song? In 1963, Bob Dylan used some of the melody and lyrics from a classic English folk song to create one of his greatest masterpieces. And Paul Simon heard the same song in an English folk club, and that turned into Scarborough Fair Canticle. And they both got their arrangements from the English folk giant Martin Carthy. Hi, I'm Matthew from Nashville Exile, and today we're going to look at the fantastic finger-picking pattern that Paul Simon used on the Simon and Garfunkel song Scarborough Fair. It's fantastic, fantastic. In the early 60s, Paul Simon spent a lot of time in England, and it was there he wrote some of Simon and Garfunkel's biggest hits. And it was there in England that he became friendly with folk guys like Martin Carthy and Bert Yance, and it was from Martin that he borrowed the guitar arrangement for Scarborough Fair. He met him in a club or somewhere and he had him write down on a piece of paper. The trouble is, Paul Simon didn't give him any credit, or Paul Simon's record company didn't give Martin any credit, and it sparked this 30-year kind of rift between the two of them. Finally, 98, it was resolved and Paul Simon made it right. And then after that, Martin said Paul's version was his own unique piece of guitar genius. And I think it is guitar genius. To get that bell-like sound, Paul's got a capo up on 7. He's in open standard tuning, but he's playing these odd chords with these weird rubs. I think this chord is an A13 sus4. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds a lot more complicated than it is. You play an A minor 7 and you move it up 2 frets in relation to the capo. But it's the finger-picking pattern that makes this song, you know, what it is. And it goes like this. Your thumb is in charge of the low strings, and then your first finger's on G, second finger's on B, and third finger's on the high E. A, E, G, D, B, G. And it gets that rub, listen. That's the first bit. And then you put your third finger to create a C shape there. Do the same thing again. And then you move it back 2 frets and you play the 3rd fret on the A string, and then you pick B, G, and then you play the 2nd fret on the A string, and then you back up to the top, and then you're going to go to an A sus2 like this. And it pretty much goes like the whole way through. There's a few other chords in there. He runs up to a C. He's got that classic Paul Simon rundown. You've heard that before. Such a great song. Also, have a listen to Bob Dylan's Girl from the North Country. The lyrics are very, very, very similar. But the difference is he credited Martin Carthy in the liner notes, and he's always talking about how he loved all those folk guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.